All right, so this person here, I guess they're moving. I moved out at 17 to get an apartment in another country. Okay. Very cool. Why would your parents let you do that? Whatever. Here's a first look at the apartment. Yay. Wow, that's probably... She lives in LA, so that's a lot of money that she spent. Anyway, it's called Full Tour. Will be coming out on YouTube once we're fully decorated, but here's a look since you've been asking. You know, it's bizarre that you can become famous off of nothing, but hey, that's the world we live in now. That's totally fine. But she's moving to America, or she lives in America now, and she's very anti-America, you know, because we're very oppressive and we're terrible people, and so that's the whole thing. So Curlydaddy made a response calling her out for that, so let's watch it.
Your parents kicked you out, so you had to move to another country?
I don't know if her parents kicked her out. I mean, I don't know if that's what happened or if he's just saying that.
What country did you move to? Was it the one you hate? The United States of America?
It's kind of true. Listen, if you really hate something so much, you shouldn't, you know, go there. I mean, apparently, I guess she's in LA. You know, LA is like the toxic cesspool of non-celebrities pretending they're celebrities. So she moved to LA for better business opportunities. It makes sense, but if you think that America is so bad and oppressive, you probably shouldn't move here and support America. But anyway, we got a response from this person. This actually, that's not the response. This is the response to that person.
This kid really just has like the worst takes on like anything I hear him talk about like ever. For context, he's talking about the xoBrooklynne chick. She made a video being like, I moved out at 17. Here's like my apartment tour. And I know everyone loves to shit on that girl for some reason.
That's true, they do, because she's kind of annoying. I mean, like, listen. People give her too much shit. I remember she was caught in some scandal where she like said that Trump supporters should die or something. I actually defended her because it was like the other guy had said something very homophobic, and I was like, listen, like, it's obviously not ideal, but they're kids. But yeah, people dogpile her. I guess it's because, yeah, she's just a little annoying. But you know, people should grow up a little bit. But like, yeah, if you're going to engage in a political discussion, excuse me for yawning. If you're going to engage in a political discussion and talk about like being anti-America, I think that like the worst part would be moving to America, not because it shows that you think America's great, but because like you're so willing to fold on your core values that if you think America's so bad, but you're going to go there to support it, I think that that's kind of shitty. Personally. Now, she moved to LA, which to me just like suggests what I already knew. She's a performative activist. Like, she never cared about America or the politics in America or really the problems of the world, according to her. She's just doing it to generate social clout. It's a virtue signal. Like, that's all it is.
Some reason. But yeah, dude, no shit she moved to America from Canada. Yeah. She's a fucking, like, social media influencer fucking person.
Me too.
That's just gonna make her life so much easier, considering, like, the majority of the people in her field that she interacts with live in the fucking States. Like,
we understand that, but I will say that, like, I think that it is a folding on your values to support something that you are so adamantly against, supposedly. And I think that is a kind of shitty. It's something to at least not respect. Like, I didn't really have respect for that girl, so it didn't matter. But, like, that would cause me to lose respect as well, you know?
What? I'll never forget one video I saw that dude do. He deleted it, but some chick was opening up about the STDs she had because she like slept with people who didn't disclose that they had STDs.
That's it.
And his response was, well, maybe if you followed the Bible and practiced abstinence, you wouldn't be in this situation.
Now, I'm sure she's she's embellishing the story, but I know Curly, so he probably said something like that. So I'll give her credit for that. He probably said, like, don't fuck around, you won't get STDs. Yeah, I mean, I would say try to stay away from, like, hookup culture. I think it's very toxic in general. I think it's a very bad idea. You know, I have hooked up with people, but, you know, just my advice. You know, to do as I say, not as I do. Am I right, guys?
Fucking idiot. I fucking hate this dude. He's such a moron.
Oh yeah, and then she made an update video on that. She actually elaborated. So, is that a word? Dude, it is a word. She elaborated on it. I don't know what's going on. I must have dementia or something wrong with me. Anyway, this is her expansive take on that take.
I didn't get to really talk about the take that Curlydaddy made in the video I stitched.
Okay.
I kind of just wanted to, like, defend that girl, because it's a very fucking stupid thing to criticize her for.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
All of the comments,
I mean, like, maybe it is a dumb thing to criticize somebody for, but unless you're on, like, in a sphere that, like, criticizes people for using hair. It's like, oh, you got braids on? Racist. You know what I mean? So, like, if we're in that sphere, it's actually probably one of the better things to criticize people for, because it has more logic to it than you can't wear hair. you know.
Are like shitting on her so hard for something so fucking like dumb. And also, I really wanted to put an emphasis on the abstinence shit he said, because he's taken all of that down and not apologized, not like fucking done whatever, just made a fucking brain dead take and removed any trace of it, so no one knows how fucking dumb he is.
I will say, like, I think that, like, having... You're breathing racist, yeah. One thing I will say is that, like, having a bad take doesn't make you stupid. Sometimes people just have bad takes. Like, I don't know, it's whatever. Just saying.
But yeah, if you don't like it, don't come here, or if you don't like it, leave. Number one is just like anti-immigrant rhetoric.
Not
that
really.
I think he's like disguising by saying it to a white girl.
Now you're just being kind of stupid. You know, I was understanding of your perspective. Now you're just being dumb. Now it's turned to racism. Now Curly Daddy's saying, like, hey, I think it's hypocritical of you to criticize America and then come here for your own personal gain. Now it's, I hate immigrants. Do you realize how she decided to amp it up and be incredibly, like, shitty about it? She's weaponizing racism, which I find to be racist. If you're going to claim something is racist when it's not, that to me is racist. You're trying to invoke emotions from the immigrant community to be angry at Curly Daddy. So you're being really in this, you're being racist. It's silly. If you want to send the STD clip, you got to send it through like a TikTok review.
And two, second grade fucking thinking to think that you can't be highly critical of something yet also exist within that thing. For example, put it in perspective, I'm a Twitch streamer. That's like how I make my money. It's my job.
Okay.
Twitch is owned by Amazon. I fucking hate Amazon. I hate Jeff Bezos.
Then use
Disgusting
YouTube.
Company. I almost said country. I wouldn't be that far off at this point. Disgusting.
I thought you were just calling him a disgusting cunt. I was like, okay, that's fine. My thing though is, like, if you think it's so bad, use an alternative. Honestly, use an alternative instead. I don't understand. Why do you need to use this one? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, if it's so bad, if you hate Jeff Bezos so much, you know, use YouTube or something. Use a different form of you know, streaming service. Now, I think that Jeff Bezos is a scum asshole too, but I also acknowledge that, like, we are all scum assholes within, like, the system, and that the better thing to target is, like, actually getting people to pay taxes rather than providing these loopholes, and that's a different conversation for another day. I don't think Jeff Bezos is necessarily a scumfuck. I think that he's just a dumb asshole idiot. You know what I mean? But, like, get people to pay their taxes. That's a government problem, honestly, more than anything else. All of us take as much advantage as we can as possible. You know, I'll ask you a very simple question. If you were a tipped worker, would you report your tips? You're going to say no. I didn't report... Hypothetically, if I ever did Uber or Lyft, I would not report those tips. You know what I'm saying? Hypothetically, okay? Don't come after me, IRS. Hypothetically, you know what I mean? We all do a little bit of, like, you know, it's a little bit of my money. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Do you want me to quit my fucking job? Because I've said that, and because I've shit on Jeff Bezos so many times.
Use Facebook or YouTube.
Job and not make any money now. Like, that's what you fucking sound like.
Well, not really. I mean, she could still make money not living in there. But I'm just saying. You know, I find it to be a bit of a weak-willed perspective. Like, I hate something so much, but I'm gonna exist in it even though I don't have to. You could do it. You could use YouTube or something. You know, it's really fun. Okay, that was that one. Now I gotta go. Okay, shut the fudge. Shut the frick up. This is Curly Daddy's one.
So
we did that.
I think it's really...
We did hers already. Let's get the Curly Daddy reaction, the powerful reaction from Curlydaddy101 Dalmatians.
The one you hate?
This kid really just has, like, the worst takes on, like, anything I hear him talk about, like, ever. But yeah, dude, no shit, she moved to America from Canada.
This is Curly's
Fucking,
video, don't worry.
like, social media
I hope it says his name here.
Person.
If you were somewhat intelligent, then you would have realized that the point of my video was just to point out how ironic it was that she constantly hated on America but then moved there. Also, moving to LA as a TikTok influencer really doesn't make sense. That's why most YouTubers are moving out of LA, because the cost of living is so high. Hey man, xoBrooklynne is more than free to move to America, but you can't say it's not hypocritical. America is a great place with a lot of opportunities. That's why she moved here. The only point of my video was to point out that she constantly tore down America. I know you and a lot of the people in your comment section do not like me.
Fucking hate this dude. He's such a moron.
However, I wish you nothing but the best. Hope you have a great day.
Is this that ginger on
the one you
ginger?
hate?
All right. For some reason, my stream elements is fucking up. Anyway, that was that, and let's see what her response
You would have
is.
realized that the point of if you were somewhat intelligent, then you would have realized that
Jesus
the point of
Christ.
my video was just to
Throwing
point out
shade.
So fucking reactionary. It hurts, dude. I won't get into what you said about like LA being really expensive. Because clearly you don't know how fucking expensive Canada is, so it makes sense for anybody to want to leave. It's not.
Okay. Sure. No, I disagree. Canada's more expensive than... I mean, LA is more expensive than Canada.
Hypocritical for somebody to criticize the American government and then either live in America or move there. That's like the equivalent of somebody working in a restaurant where they make really good fucking tips, but their manager's an asshole, but they don't want to quit because their tips are really good. But they complain about their manager because they're an...
Not really. It would be the equivalent of somebody working at a company and then hating their boss for some kind of a morally reprehensible reason. This is the problem: is you're not really comparing the correctly. So Brooklyn, whatever, hates America. She thinks that like we have a really shitty government that's oppressive and hates black people. Those are things that you would find morally reprehensible. Not liking your manager because he's a dick is not the same as being somebody who like you would think is fundamentally morally corrupt. Right? There's a very big difference between disliking an asshole and thinking somebody is morally corrupt. And so, like, this would be like if I worked for a business that the owner of it fucking screamed the N-word at black people all the time, right? But I can leave to go somewhere else and make more money. That's where we get to the point. It's not like Brooklyn is like, I'm criticizing my country that I live in, but I can't leave because of financial reasons. Makes perfect sense. She's physically moving to Canada after finding, America after finding it morally reprehensible. And so it's not the same thing. And you're not really making a very good argument here.
They're an asshole. I criticize Amazon and Jeff Bezos all the time, but I work as a Twitch streamer, which is owned by Amazon.
I think that you're just justifying you being kind of an asshole. Like, by your logic, you shouldn't be working there. You know, like, why? Again, YouTube, Facebook, honestly, has decent streaming platforms. Move to those platforms. It's not that big of a deal. You could do those things, but you choose not to. That's one of those things. And, like, you could probably afford the transition. Why don't you? You could literally use your Twitch and tell people to go to... You could stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Tell people to go to your YouTube if you find YouTube to be better. There's a lot of other platforms. You really could make the transition. It just sounds like you seem to think that Jeff Bezos is really a shitty person, but you still want to give him your money. I think he's an asshole too, but whatever. You know what I mean?
Am I a fucking hypocrite? No.
Yes.
Also, dude,
yeah. I think that you're personally, you are a hypocrite though.
Holier than thou shtick. It's not fucking working. I think we all know how not good of a guy you are, and we can sniff it out from a mile away.
Why?
Literally so many people on here know how much of a fucking bozo you are, and know about, like, the really uncool shit you've done.
Like what?
So I won't give you too much of my time. But don't tell me to have a nice day, you pussy.
if you were
Like, what's so bad about Curlydaddy? I don't understand. What did he do that was so wrong?
Everybody's been saying...
All right, so somebody says if I go to her Twitch, he also talks about the situation in her last stream. She did around 2 hours. Damn, I have an incredible community here. So somebody told me to go to her old videos around I gotta watch an advertisement. Lame. And it's around 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 57 seconds.
And
Mr. Beard is
just like a big...
Oh, here we go.
Surprised she even had, like...
We got, so Ryan Beard's in the chat, in this chat. I should probably move my fucking head, huh? We'll move my head over here. So Ryan Beard's in this chat, and he says, Curlydaddy101 destroyed you with facts and logic.
I'm surprised she even had, like, the guts. Curly Daddy.
That's a reference to me, Papa Gut.
Destroyed with facts and logic. Dude, Ryan. I don't even know if he fucking, like, answered me. You blocked me as soon as I posted a response. It's unfortunate. I was hoping
You notice how that's like that's a common perspective? Is you're like, I can't believe you responded to me. Like, they want to lash out, but they don't want you to actually look at it and respond. They just want to bitch. They just want to bitch about it, and then not have to take the accountability.
For something, but
okay.
Listen. Like, I think my favorite thing about that, about the fact that I even responded to him, was that it wasn't a big deal.
You kind of made it to be a big deal. He was just he was just showing the hypocrisy, and you kind of went off, and then he went off on you back because like you were being very rude.
Him like having that opinion, not a big deal to me, literally at all.
Yes, it is. That's why you went off on him. What are you talking about?
But I just don't like him. And I saw the opportunity to say that he's wrong about something. And
I went on his stream to talk about religion the other day, and he told me it was okay that they murdered virgins and gay people in the Bible because it was the best society at the time. Okay, that's an interesting take. I don't know if I agree with that, if that's true. I have trouble trusting Ryan Beard that that's actually an accurate representation, but maybe, I don't know. I guess I'd have to press Curlydaddy on that, because that's obviously dumb as shit. Because it's not okay to murder virgins and gay people because it was the best for society. But that also might be. I mean, listen, I'm going to give Curlydaddy the benefit of the doubt. Of course, he's my friend, but possibly he said that. That also just might have been misconstrued or something. But we'll have to look into that.
I took it. I took it. I was like, all right, here we go. I wanted to stream to talk about religion the other day, and he told me it was okay that they murdered virgins and gay people in the Bible because it was the best for society at the time. Oh, doesn't he do that whole, like, he goes like, debate a Christian, and then when you actually do it, he basically goes, no.
What?
He goes, no. You go, hey, no.
I'm just going to be absolutely honest with you. And this isn't a criticism, because I think that everybody that's like engaging and like trying to trace their dreams, like being a streamer, should do it. But I don't think that this is something that you could consider a job. I'm just being honest. This doesn't seem like a job. This seems like a hobby that you might make a little bit of money off of. But I think it's like a little bit dishonest to call this like a legitimate job. Maybe I'm wrong.
He's like fucked, dude. I saw another person making fun of him on my For You page today.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I couldn't see his original video because he's blocked me on every account I have. But they're just making fun of him for being a nerd. Wait, do I have to do this in order?
Alright, so is this it? Is there anything else?
Am I doing something wrong? He dodged most of the things he said. That's not surprising.
Yeah, he pretty much dodged most of the things I said. Okay.
I genuinely don't think, like, he's, like... I genuinely don't think he really, like, knows what he's talking about a lot of the time. But...
Let's see.
But, like, what can you do? Yeah, the homie's name is Gideon, by the way. Homie's name is Gideon. His name's Gideon. And he thinks people will take him seriously.
What? Okay.
But yeah. But yeah, I still love when, like, Papa got bad for TikTok and he went, this is an attack on free speech.
Hey, I got mentioned. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, huh?
Wasn't it, like, also he would, like, refuse to wear a mask on his college campus? And when he, like, the dean, like, asked him to, like, fucking wear a mask, he just, like, bitched and moaned and said it was, like, infringing on his fucking ability to fucking learn.
Maybe. I have no idea.
I don't know, dude.
When did Ryan Beard talk to this guy?
I've legitimately always had, like, some sort of problem with that kid. And, like, yeah, he, like, has, like, shitty opinions. But it's, like... But it's, like... Even with, like, Joshua World of T-shirts... Like... It bugged me. Like, for those of you who don't know, when Joshua World of T-shirts was, like, having his, like, big moment... just, like... You know... Doing the King of New York bit... Fucking Curlydaddy101, like, was, like, desperately trying to get in on it. Like, making so many, like, just bad videos.
What? I don't understand. You know what's really shitty, I think, about this is I know what she's talking about. Josh had like the King of New York thing going on, and Curly was like he was getting in on it. He was the Batman, and Josh was labeled the Joker. What I think is shitty though is that like Curly's actually like a friend with Josh, and like tries to talk to him and try to work him through different issues that he has, because like people just make fun of Josh all the time. He's like the biggest person defending Josh. And I find it really shitty that, like, this is very... it's kind of shitty, man. because like Curly would defend Josh and help him out like personally, and so like this weird criticism that like, oh, Curly Daddy's trying to get in on a trend. Wow, what a hot take. I don't understand. Like that's what TikTok is. No, I don't quite understand.
Being like, I'm also the king of New York. This is my city. This is my city too. I'm also the king of New York. And it's just like, dude, why are you trying so hard to get a piece of this autistic kid's like clout? Why are you trying so hard to capitalize off of like just an autistic kid that's like having his moment on the internet?
This kind of screams to me weaponization of like people with disabilities, like their issues. I find it really shitty. This bothers me a lot because like she's just like, I can't believe you're trying to like use an autistic kid, and like what's so weird is that like the first like your first perspective is Josh has autism, and Curly's first perspective of Josh is that Josh is a person, and like you're trying to take people with disabilities, people with autism, and you're trying to use them for like social clout in a way where it's like, you have autism, like, oh, you have autism, so you know, and it's like, but Curly is a good friend to Josh, and it's like so weird that like you're trying to defend Josh here when you're not even somebody that would ever give Josh the time of day to talk to him about anything. And I find that kind of pathetic, and I find that to be ableist. I think it's sad. So Ryan says, I talked to him about that. I asked him if he would be in favor of legislation forcing TikTok to not ban people, and he said no. LOL. Well, why would he say yes? So, like, you can speak out against how shitty TikTok's banning policies are while also understanding that the government shouldn't get involved in a private business. That's a pretty easy thing to consider. But yeah, it's like shitty. It's not just me that's getting banned. There's a lot of other people getting unjustifiably banned for dumb shit and getting forced out of the creator fund. Like, it's something that a lot of people on TikTok, regardless of what side you're on, are talking about. So far, this is kind of silly.
And he also, like, said, like, something... He, like, made, like, an ableist joke to someone.
You kind of just were being literally ableist.
And then when they, like, someone else, like, criticized Joshua, he was immediately, like, on Josh's side. And he was like... Ableism is wrong.
Well, what's the joke that he made? You're not even telling us the joke. So like I feel like
you guys are being ableist. And it's like he only said that because he's trying to make money off the fucking kid. And I was like,
that's shitty. That's really shitty. I don't agree with what everything Gideon has to say, Curly. Like there's a lot of stuff we disagree with. But like this is we're not just talking about disagreements anymore. Like you're deciding that he has a poor character, and Gideon has an obnoxiously good character. Like it's almost overbearing. Like he's a really good guy. He's an actual good person, and it's weird to me, you know. But he's like a really good guy, and he's like genuinely trying to talk to Josh and like be friendly with Josh and be his friend and help him through like situations. And you're like, oh, he's just talking to Josh for like clout. Like what is it? Like that's shitty. You know what I mean? Like that sounds like something that you might do. Like you might not actually talk to somebody with autism as if they're... I have friends with autism. Actually, one of my good friends is coming back to TikTok. He just came back to TikTok. He has autism. He's a good guy. It just seems like you put like the identity first and then the person second. But like people, you know, like this is just shitty. It feels like projecting. I'm actually like at the beginning of this, I was like, you know what? There's reasons for people to hate me and Curly. We say different things. Some of our opinions can be rather charged. Obviously, more reason to hate me. But now this is just getting into an area where like you're being kind of ableist. I think it's kind of shitty.
I was like, that's like so, you know.
I think she has a crush on Gideon, and she knows he won't date her because he could do better, you know.
It was just like weird how like that. I'm also stuck on this dungeon. Did I miss something? Like how desperately. Oh fuck. Up, down, right, left. It's not only the order for the switches nearby. It's the very order the host.
I'm pretty sure the ableist thing is referring to the situation where Curly, when I called out Joshua for like the fish thing where he just stomped the fuck out of that fish, that shit was insane. When somebody asked me about it and I was like, yeah, so the shit, I saw it and it was like, honestly, my perspective was like, it's very questionable behavior because, you know, but of course, after everything went on, I talked to Curly privately as well, and it was like, you know, this is a guy with autism. I don't think he understands what he's doing is wrong, or not in the way that like somebody without autism would understand it. But like a lot of people were using it to be really shitty and ableist at Josh. And so like that's probably what Girly's talking about. So there's a difference between making jokes and legitimately harassing somebody with a mental disability. Those are two very different things. Like very, very, very different. Hey, I made a joke about somebody with something. Oh, okay. Hey, I hope that Joshua gets hurt. That's the comparison here. Those are two different things. You can make edgy jokes with while also respecting people.
Temple. Up, down, left, right. Okay, cool. I made the video criticizing people being ableist. Yeah, it was like, but like he like fucking was also defending Josh, but it's like just moments before, like he made like an ableist fucking remark to somebody.
What is the remark?
And I was like, dude, you don't care.
What's the remark that he made?
Hey, for the bits, bears, and salsa. What are you waiting for? Up, down, left, right.
I'm not really surprised that like Ryan would be like very anti Curly Daddy, but it's like weird, man. This is kind of one of those problems. So this is one of the things here that I have a problem with, right? Is that like my issue with Ryan isn't that like we disagree. It's that like he's very public about his disagreements with people that he considers friends, and I don't think that a real friend does that kind of shit. Like real friends will generally talk to you in private about something that you don't like. Ryan brings it to public all the time, or he'll like jump on here and he'll talk about somebody behind their back even though they're supposed to be friends. And so I don't think that Ryan quite understands truly what friendship means, and it's a reason why I'm not friends with Ryan anymore. Like, it's shitty, you know? Like, there's supposed to be, like, a mutual respect with your friends. You're supposed to mean more than one disagreement. So if you have a problem with something, you can even be like, hey, do you want to talk about this on Twitch? Like, you guys are Twitch stream, or you could stream on Twitch. But instead, what are we doing? We're talking to some other... Like, we saw a take from Curly, and then we went to this girl's stream. We waited for her to stream, and then we talked shit about Curly Daddy. And it's like, that's Weasley scum behavior. Like, why not just be like, oh, Curly, I saw your take on this, that, and the other thing. You know, but to make it public, it's shitty, bro. To make it public is so shitty, you know? Like, he would make videos about me, talking shit about me. I don't talk shit about my friends in public. If I have an issue with them, I'll talk about them in private. But, like, he was very comfortable doing it in public. And, like, that's fine. You do you, but, like, now then I'm not your friend. Like, this isn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what a friend does. And so I don't think that Ryan knows how to be a decent friend. This isn't about stitching your friends being disagreeable. I'm talking about he would make like these private videos he hoped I wouldn't see. He would do it constantly. I'm specifically saying this is just, if you don't value that in a friend, that's totally fine. But when it comes to my friends, if I disagree with you on something, I'm going to talk to you in private instead of making a performance like publicly or in like a really disingenuous way where like hopefully the person won't see it. So,
but I don't know. He's a weird one, that kid. Me and my boys Gideon, Thaddeus, and Isaiah are kings of NY. Dude, imagine being named Gideon. Imagine just like... introducing yourself. Saying, hey, what's up? My name's Gideon. You know what I'd do if I met someone and they told me their name's Gideon? I'd go... That's what I'd do.
Why?
Gideon with an E. Not Gideon with an I. Do you think he's ever had to do that? Be like, it's not Gideon with an I, it's Gideon with an E.
Okay.
But, like, I mean, we've just, like, been talking about, like, how he's, like, not very cool. Which is exactly why I just, like, fucking pounced when he, like, responded to me and tried to take... He does this whole, like... It's up, down, left, right? What? Am I wrong? But he does this whole, like... I'm taking the high road and I'm the big guy shtick. He, like, opened his video calling me stupid and then was like... I'm gonna be the big guy.
But, like, you kind of opened your video saying that he had, like, terrible takes. I mean, like, you escalated it before him. I don't understand. Which is, like, fine. It's just, like, you're gonna criticize him for being angry in his response when you were being kind of a dick. You know? I don't understand. It's just silly. I don't know. I feel like there's... I don't know, dude. I'm over this. I'm not surprised, I'm not really surprised with, you know, whatever her perspective is. I am not surprised that that our friend Ryan Beard was, you know, obviously talking behind his back. Wait, what is this?
Like, he made a video, like, the whole time he just was like, he took that fucking stupid I'm on the moral high ground thing and acted like I'm just some, like, big fucking, like, evil bitch. And then just, like, didn't even fucking respond. Still wondering if I like him or not? Me? You're confused. I wonder if you dislike him.
I like how Ryan Beard's like, yeah, if someone doesn't want to debate, they act like it makes people weak. Well, if you're going to push your perspective out there, like a political perspective, especially with somebody that you consider a friend, and then you refuse to have the conversation, like, yeah, it makes you kind of weak.
And I open it by going, this kid's a moron and I hate him. But I wish you nothing but the best. Have a nice day.
Okay.
I did, like, fully, like, bust out when he included the clip of me saying I hate him for dramatic effect.
Ryan Beard, does it mean you hate Papa? Oh shit. Let's see what we got here. Now we're just getting into
like hate is a strong word, but like hate's a strong word, but I also like do strongly dislike people often.
Let's see what Mr. Beard says.
I hate him. He probably hates me too, but he won't say it. He won't say that. He'll just act like he's some very nice, lovely boy. He probably fucking hates me.
I'm waiting for the response from Ryan Beard.
I know, I'm just like I'm a big evil bitch, and he's just a sweet little curly-haired, soft boy, you know? Dude.
Dear CEO, go all
Alright, so he said, I don't hate Papa. I strongly disagree with a lot of his takes and think he's an asshole. Well, it's okay, Ryan. I think that you're a cowardly bitch. I hate people like Job and other predators. Okay. That's fine. I think that Ryan is like a genuinely like weak-willed individual. Like with no like actual understanding or life experience, who just like virtue signals and like cry. I don't think even virtue signals. I think that like he just is like, I think that like he's a baby that doesn't really understand anything. And like, you know what's funny is that Ryan and I had our path, like we went our separate ways, and then like here we go. Ryan Beard feels the need to like just slander people in private. Like this is the cowardice fucking childish bullshit. That's why I don't like Ryan Beard. Like this is what I'm talking about. This is what like annoys the shit out of me. It's like annoying as fuck. It's just fucking obnoxious. It's childish, dumb bullshit. Oh, so somebody told me that she said at one point that I'm a conservative masked as a centrist. You guys are just so dumb. I'm so tired of it. That's what unintelligent people say. That's what the most unintelligent people will say. They're like, I have nothing else to criticize Papa Gut for, so he acts centrist, but I know he's just a conservative. Just shut up. You guys are dumb. Like, and it's just so dumb and annoying. Like, it's just everything's a meme to people when they have nothing intelligent to say. You know, it's fine that you have no idea, like, any of my political takes, like, truly. That's totally fine. But, like, shut the fuck up with this centrist conservative nonsense. Fucking dumb.